Things are expensive, homes are expensive, demand is high, supply is low, so prices are up. Don't be driving too slow because someone will run you over. Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and watching. So in today's video, I'm just gonna go right into it. As you can see by the title, I will be shedding light and talking about my experience and some pros and cons of moving to Arizona. This is our 1-year anniversary of moving to Arizona from Iowa. If you know these two states very well or have an idea, there are two really different states. Iowa is very cold. It's lesser populated than Phoenix. It is more flat in Iowa. Here in Arizona, there's so much mountains. Iowa is full of cornfields. Phoenix, Arizona is desert, mountains, you name it. I just want to give a little bit of background so you have an understanding of how my transition is and if it's anything similar or different from yours. So my background is in IT, more specifically data analytics and also supply chain management and logistics. So I can basically be anywhere and work from anywhere. One of the main reasons that I really wanted to, or my husband and I wanted to move to Arizona, especially Phoenix, was honestly the weather. I was done and tired of Iowa. For some people, the weather may be a huge con because Phoenix, Arizona is the hottest city in the United States. And if you love the heat, I am Nigerian I am a true Nigerian born and raised, so the heat is just like a blessing for me. The winter was not, I did not like it. I was ready to move out of there. Not saying that I hated Iowa. I absolutely, had a wonderful experience living there, but I just thought it was a new change and time for a new transition for my husband and I. In regards to moving to Phoenix, Arizona with a job or not, I specifically had a job offer already in place by the time we moved to Arizona. So basically, the company that I work for relocated us from Iowa to Arizona. So our transition was a lot more easier and less expensive just because my employer was paying for the entire move. There are people who are planning to move to Phoenix or Arizona in general, or at least maybe the Phoenix metropolitan area without a job. My recommendation is to not. I would highly recommend that you find a career opportunity or just something before you move. Maybe you may have saved a lot from where you're coming from and planning to move to Arizona, but I still feel like you don't necessarily have to start something right away when you come here. But I do just want to say, have something in place just because the market is constantly changing, and just if you're here, there's a lot more pressure to find something than when you kind of have more time looking for a job. So I would highly recommend you finding a job if you can, or at least if it's 2 or more people in the household, please try to at least have one person in the household, have a career opportunity, because sometimes, like my situation, your employer can pay for your entire move, which would absolutely save you a lot of costs. So I highly recommend that. Ooh, sorry, it's like the streak of the light. Sun is right there. It's sunset. I love to film at this time, and I'm trying to film as quickly as possible so that I can utilize this perfect sunlight. The next thing is weather. I moved from Cedar Falls, Iowa to Phoenix, Arizona. In Cedar Falls, Iowa, we experienced all 4 seasons. Here in Arizona, it is very, very hot during the summer months. Blazing hot, that even me, myself, I can't really stand the heat. And so some people, this may be a huge con for them, but I would say during the winter months here, it is perfect. Oh my gosh. I mean, it still gets a little chilly where you can put on a coat, but I feel like during the day, it still gets warm. But here's another thing. If you're planning to move to Arizona to purchase a home prices, woohoo! That is a huge con for me, and I hope for you too. Home prices here are expensive. Relative to where you're coming from, obviously if you're coming from like New York City, LA, Boston, Chicago, you know, coming here won't be much of a big difference for you because it's not as expensive as those other cities. But somebody coming from the Midwest, like small town Iowa, it is really expensive. But if you have that career opportunity and you are able to, you know, adjust and, you know, you can financially provide for yourself, absolutely do it. But I would say Phoenix, Arizona is a growing city. There is a huge migration happening into the city. So many people coming from the East Coast, the West Coast, like California is expensive, so there's a lot of people moving here. There's some people moving from the Vegas area, some moving from the Seattle area, some moving from Chicago. There's a lot of people coming from Michigan. So I would definitely tell you that this city is getting really populated, and we are one of the people who came during that time. Things are expensive, homes are expensive, demand is high, supply is low, so prices are up. So, you know, plan accordingly. My husband and I absolutely love living here. We would just have to strategically plan because we're kind of getting over the renting phase, and we would hopefully in the future be able to get a home. We will see if we will continue to live in the Phoenix area, but we absolutely love it here, and we would love to stay here for as long as we can and for as long as we can afford it. Because, I mean, there's also people moving out of Phoenix because it's either too hot for them and too expensive, and people are moving back to the Midwest. So, you know, cut your coat according to your size, you know. Oh, also another thing I need to touch on, safety, crime. Well, it also varies based on the neighborhood that you stay. Like, we are not in central Phoenix, like the downtown area. We are more so North Phoenix. We are right on the border with Scottsdale, so I'm much more closer to North Scottsdale than I am the Phoenix downtown area. Downtown is like a good 30 minutes away from me, and Scottsdale is like 10-15 minutes. Things to do. There are absolutely so many things to do. First of all, I absolutely love that I live next to, you know, very close to the international airport. I have done a lot more traveling than I have in a long time, so I absolutely love that. And things to do, there's so much things to do. Don't get me started on the brunch and, you know, bars, and we're younger, so we love to explore and try out new things, shopping areas, things to do, food to eat, so many different things to do. And we have friends here, which is pretty great because there's a lot of young professionals moving here. So we do have friends that are kind of in the same age group or, you know, working in the same industry as we are. Driving here, what? Phoenix drivers are crazy, but I am one of them now, so I could say I drive crazy. But be careful on the road. Be careful on the road. People are going fast. Like, people got places to be. So don't drive like you're coming from the Midwest. If you're coming from another big city, maybe you would adjust. But let me tell you, Phoenix drivers don't have time to be wasting on the road. Hence, lots of accidents. Let me tell you, like the Loop 101, 202, 303, 51, 17, so busy, lots of accidents. So just be safe, be careful when driving. There's a lot of crazy drivers, drunk ones too. So just make sure you're given enough space, but also don't be driving too slow because someone will run you over. Career opportunities, a lot of tech companies here, lots of, you know, employment. There's a lot of job opportunities. But there is a huge difference from those who have college degrees, bachelor's, master's, associate's degrees versus those who don't have those higher level education. Obviously, if you are, you know, a graduate and you're working in your field, chances are you are making a pretty good amount of pay. But it's also very competitive for someone who doesn't have a degree to kind of penetrate into that environment. But not to say it's not possible, you just have to work hard towards it. That's why I always recommend, if you're moving here, make sure you have something solid before coming. Phoenix to LA, Phoenix to Vegas, it's close. So I've already been to those cities like a couple times. So like I said, I love there's an international airport, but you can also drive those distances. I think Phoenix to LA is about 7 hours max, and Phoenix to Vegas is about 4 hours. So that's really not bad of a drive. I've been doing that in the Midwest, but I just don't like driving. I would rather fly there. Flights are pretty, it's not cheap. It's expensive now, and lots of flights are getting canceled. I love it here. That's just my 2 cents. I love it. I love living here. I love everything about Phoenix. Even the weather, there's pools everywhere to get cool. So many things. I love hiking, so I'm always looking for a new spot to hike. Just don't hike during the summer months, because I don't know if you're gonna make it. If you have any other questions, or if you think of something else more, just put it down in the comment section below, and I will try my best to answer it. I hope you love it. If you're thinking about coming to Phoenix, I tell you, do it. Worst comes to shove, you don't like it, you leave. There's a lot of apartments, so lots of apartment complexes that you can rent from. There are houses if you want to buy, so feel free to do what your heart desires. I really wanted to do this video and put this out there. I hope it helps. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up. Share it to someone who you think is probably considering moving to Arizona or moving out. I want to hear what you all think. Thanks, guys. See you in my next video. Bye.